The story of King Solomon's brothers is intertwined with the complex history of King David's family. King David had several wives and concubines, which led to a large and diverse family. Among his many sons, some became prominent figures in biblical narratives, while others played less significant roles. Absalom, the rebel prince. One of the most well-known of King David's sons was Absalom. Absalom was the third son of David, born to Maacah, the daughter of King Talmai of Geshur. He was renowned for his extraordinary beauty and his long, flowing hair, which became his tragic downfall. Absalom's story is marked by rebellion against his father. He harbored a deep resentment towards David for not punishing Ammon, his half-brother, who had raped his sister Tamar. To avenge Tamar, Absalom plotted Amnon's murder and then fled from Jerusalem. He spent several years in exile, during which he garnered a significant following. Upon his return to Jerusalem, Absalom conspired against David and eventually declared himself king. His rebellion led to a civil war, during which Absalom's forces clashed with David's loyalists. The conflict culminated in the Battle of Ephraim Wood, where Absalom met a tragic end. While riding on a mule, his hair became entangled in the branches of a terebinth tree, leaving him vulnerable. Joab, one of David's commanders, seized the opportunity to strike him down, ending the rebellion. Adonijah, the ambitious heir. Adonijah was another of David's sons who sought the throne. He was the fourth son of David and Haggith. Adonijah's attempt to usurp the throne occurred while David was in his old age and struggling with health issues. Adonijah, backed by some prominent figures in Israel, including Joab and Abiathar the priest, proclaimed himself king without David's knowledge or consent. This declaration created a potential succession crisis, as Solomon had been anointed as David's successor. Bathsheba, Solomon's mother, and the prophet Nathan intervened on Solomon's behalf. They informed David of Adonijah's actions, prompting David to publicly proclaim Solomon as his successor. Solomon was anointed as king, and Adonijah's rebellion was quashed. Despite initially showing leniency, Solomon later ordered Adonijah's execution, fearing that he might pose a continued threat to the throne. Other brothers, lesser-known figures. While Absalom and Adonijah are the most prominent brothers of Solomon in biblical narratives, King David had several other sons with various wives and concubines. Some of these sons are mentioned briefly in genealogies or other passages in the Bible, but their roles in the biblical story are not as significant. Shephatiah. Shephatiah was one of King David's sons, born to his wife Abital. Although not a central figure in the biblical narrative, his inclusion in the genealogical records underscores his place within the royal family. He likely played a role in the court of his father and brother Solomon. Shephatiah is mentioned in 1 Chronicles chapter 3 verse 3, which provides a list of David's sons born to various wives and concubines. Ithream. Ithream, another son of David, is mentioned briefly in genealogical listings. He was born to David and Eglah. Like Shephatiah, Ithream's significance lies in his familial connection rather than specific actions or stories attributed to him. Ithream is also listed in 1 Chronicles chapter 3 verse 3, where it states, "The fifth, Shephatiah of Abital; the sixth, Ithream by Eglah his wife." Shammua. Shammua is one of David's sons mentioned in genealogies but not extensively featured in biblical accounts. He was born to Maacah, the daughter of King Talmai of Geshur. His birth adds to the rich tapestry of the royal family's lineage. Shammua is briefly mentioned in 2 Samuel chapter 5 verse 14. And these are the names of those that were born unto him in Jerusalem: Shammua, and Shobab, and Nathan, and Solomon. Shobab. Shobab, the son of David and Bathsheba, is mentioned in genealogical records but does not have a prominent narrative associated with him in the Bible. His birth followed the events surrounding Bathsheba's relationship with David, which played a significant role in David's life and reign. Shobab is likewise mentioned in 2 Samuel chapter 5 verse 14. Nathan. Nathan was another son of David and Bathsheba, known for his role as a prophet. While not one of Solomon's brothers, Nathan was a half-brother to Solomon and played a significant part in Solomon's ascension to the throne. Nathan delivered God's message to David regarding the building of the temple, and he anointed Solomon as king. Solomon's relationship with his brothers. Solomon's relationship with his brothers is not extensively detailed in the Bible. However, His consolidation of power and his actions toward potential rivals, such as Adonijah, reflect the political and familial complexities within the royal household. In biblical narratives, Solomon's wisdom and strength as a king are celebrated, and he undertakes significant projects such as the construction of the temple in Jerusalem and his famed encounter with the Queen of Sheba. While the lesser-known brothers do not have individual stories or narratives, they collectively contribute to the broader understanding of the Davidic dynasty's lineage and the intricate dynamics within the royal family. Their inclusion in the genealogical records reinforces their place in the history of Israel's monarchy.